M&J Video Games and Collectibles. Sport and non-sport cards, wrestling items, autographed items. We buy, sell, and trade. M&J Video Games and Collectibles, located at 1049 Queen Street, Southington, Connecticut. Call us at 1-860-479-9223 or 860-93-GAMES. M&J Video Games and Collectibles.
You're going to do whatever you do. I have my company. I wasn't my first champion. I picked somebody to be the champion.
I've got a fan that's asking right now. I've got a fan that's asking right now to say, you are the greatest.
I don't know.
But the question is, what was the greatest woman that enjoyed you in your TNT mask? It's having sex with
my ex-wife.
Your ex-wife?
Ex-wife. Hello, ex-wife. How you doing? Really?
Now my wife's going to kill me. He's like, you never paid for me. You never paid for me.
Wait a minute. We can't have a favor for the masked version and the unmasked version? Be fair. Leave the poor guy alone. Give him a break.
You never paid for me.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Listen,
If I can wear a mask and have sex, I would enjoy myself. I mean, fuck.
You probably already did, you wackadoo. Never mind. Oh, my
crazy.
God. This is what the fuck.
What do they say to you? Like, oh, TNT, give it to me.
Horror.
What, hit me with your foreign object? I mean, what are we talking
Shoot me
about?
the green mist. Well, I shoot the green mist.
Shoot me with the green
Wait a second. Medically speaking, if you're shooting green mist, there's something wrong with you. We have to get you looked at, okay?
Yeah.
I don't want.
You might have gonorrhea.
Sorry. Yes, you
Oh
might.
my God.
You might, Rabbit. You might be hanging around with the wrong people, or maybe the right people. Depends on your fucked up state of
You
mind.
drinking or eating something. Oh my God.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Get professional. Next question.
I'm sorry.
Next question.
But you know what? The character of TNT got strong in Puerto Rico big time.
How did that come about anyway? That character was that
Good.
your deal or?
No, well, the company have the idea,
Okay.
but what's an experiment?
Okay.
If work, okay. If not, get the hell out of here. You know, and yeah, to be honest,
Gotta love
and what's true,
Right,
you know, I
right.
coming down the aisle,
Right.
going to the, to the ring, and Invader is with me, and he say, listen,
Wait. Invader.
yeah,
Fucking
Invader.
piece of
yeah.
shit.
He say,
Anyway, next.
he say to me, if you make it, you stay. If not, you get the hell out of here.
Right.
I said, don't worry, I got this.
Wow. It was make or break for you.
Straight. He said,
the
and I went to
Wow.
the ring. I do, and I'm here.
Savio, life and death, right? You've been through the Bruiser Brody issue.
Yeah, of course he has.
You were one of the
few. but
incredible
He's been through it.
wrestlers in the history of wrestling. I mean, I think anybody who follows a professional wrestling understands that. I guess my point to you is this: is if you could look at your life and think about what's happened in your career, what would you say to like a guy like Invader, like what happened with the Bruiser Brody incident? I understand you got a book coming out. I understand you got all that stuff going out.
Are you still working on that?
Like,
huh?
how does that make you feel? I mean, as a human being, it's got to be very difficult. Whether you hate someone or like someone, I get all that.
Are people afraid of exposing the truth as to what happened in that locker room? Because I got to tell you,
No, but
we've had
the
several
the
people
truth-
on who
the-
were there,
the truth is
and I
out.
feel like everybody is dancing on
No,
eggshells.
the truth is out. The truth is out.
Is the truth what Tony says?
What
the
the-
motherfucker was killed in the fucking shower
Yeah,
stall, and
well,
Carlos Colon played fucking dumb.
He
I mean, what are we doing here?
Listen, he don't got killed in the shower. He
Okay.
he left the building alive. They took him to the hospital.
But he was stabbed to pieces in the shower.
Yeah.
Okay, so he goes to the hospital.
And when he's in the hospital, the operation, whatever they do,
Yeah.
he start internal bleeding.
Yeah.
That's why the shit happened.
Right.
You know, but
Was it true that it took forever to get medical help? Was it true that Tony was like, what the fuck is
well,
going
that's
on?
saying-
True that the hospital people said, "Hey, look."
well, I wasn't in the hospital.
Okay.
So-
Is it true that Dutch Mantel turned his back
No.
and said, "I don't give a shit"?
Did people turn their back in the locker room when it happened at the given moment?
No. When
Okay.
when the incident of the stab happened, when Brody coming out the shower, he want to walk towards the ring area, which is we are in a ballpark.
Okay.
And we are in a dressing room. No?
Gotcha.
So when he coming down, I told him don't go that way. That's a ring area. So the doctor Gonzalez is there. They keep him inside and laid down. So lay down. I went outside with Chris Johnblood to call the ambulance. By that time was no 911.
Right.
Nothing like that. No
Right.
cell phones.
This is many years
no
ago.
beepers. No nothing.
Understood. Right.
You know. So I went there, knocking the door, blah blah blah. Nobody there. I run all the way to the front. Here come the manager, and I tell him we need an ambulance. Call the ambulance right away. Somebody got stabbed. The motherfucker say, "Let me go see it." I just went off on him. Get the blah, 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 blah,
Get
whatever.
the fucking ambulance here.
Boom.
Right.
They call him. Took forever. Yes, to get the ambulance. The ambulance come. We not prepared with nothing. I mean, we talking about bullshit. Of course. I mean, now we could go back and destroy the ambulance people, the hospital, whatever. But nobody was prepared for that.
Right.
So when the ambulance arrived, they put in a stretcher. Let's go. Let's take him.
It's not every day a wrestler's bludgeoned in the locker room. I understand.
We
Go
help.
on.
Fans still coming. I mean, that happened about 5:30 maybe. It's getting almost dark right there. We help him to get in the ambulance. It's not like a Tony said, "I'll pick him up myself." And please, it's a stretcher plus a 300-pound guy.
Do you think Tony was embellishing when he picked him up and put him in there? Is that a story?
It's a story. It's a story. We help.
All right.
I help. Everybody help to carry
Okay.
him to getting inside. I remember Frank says, "Watch out with my head," because they almost put in backwards. So boom, we put it in and they took him off.
Okay.
From that building to the where they take 25 minutes.
Right.
And fast with the ambulance, maybe a little less, whatever. What happened in the hospital, I don't know because I wasn't there.
Right.
I can say, "Oh yeah, this happened." It's like Tony said, "I broke the wall and I do this and I
Tony
grabbed the
claims he was at the hospital. He went to the hospital.
Okay. He went. I know he went to the hospital because
he
he got
did.
on the ambulance and went
All
to the
right.
hospital. I know that.
Okay.
But that story from that point where the door closed, I don't know.
Bruiser Brody dies. He's murdered in the locker room. Do you believe that the government somehow assisted in there being no justice for Bruiser Brody? That's a blanket question, so you can give me a blanket answer.
What I believe is the prosecutor is the piece of shit. The judge was a piece of shit. Somebody fucking put money in the Gaga.
Okay.
Because I mean,
Fair enough.
was bullshit to be honest. And
Yep.
I'm not gonna.
He
I
was
never
murdered,
listen.
and there was
listen.
a cover-up. Is that fair?
Yeah, I believe so.
All right.
I believe so.
All right. Well,
Till this day, yeah.
I
But
give you credit for saying that.
I
at
mean,
least.
I never, I never cover nothing,
Right.
Because I cannot cover it
Understood.
because I'm not part of nothing.
Trust me, it's not you that I believe
No, I
was ever
know.
covering up.
I
think
guys,
it's the government.
I know,
All right.
but I just want to make clear
Yeah.
for whoever is watching.
Right.
I don't want some asshole.
Very
because
clear.
that's the right word, and I'm gonna
Right,
say
right.
taking my shit out of
There you go.
and pissed off.
There you go.
I was there because I always arrive at the building early because I got the character TNT, and I always arrive with the what is it called? Covering my face with a mask on.
Right, right.
Because
Conceal your identity.
exactly.
Right.
This next time people see me with the paint, and I always arrive early. Always. And I was there when this shit happened. I'm not happy, of course. I wish to be late than early.
Then rather have to witness that.
If
course.
I know that shit like that is gonna happen, I guarantee I'm gonna block it.
Right.
Or I'm gonna yell, or I'm gonna do whatever I have to do.
Of course.
I like Frank a lot. I like when Frank arrived in Puerto Rico, I was working as a security guard. And I known him going like a crazy here there. I was next to him. I was his shadow. Everywhere he moved, because I don't want the fans to hit him or whatever.
You were protective of Frank.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Didn't deserve this.
Listen, I like his gimmick. I like his character. I talked to him about wrestling. I picked him up the San Juan to take it to Ponce area. And the way back, he bring a doobie. He said, "What can I?"
I like him.
Yeah,
I like
he
him.
said that. Can I
Right.
smoke? I said, "Go ahead."
Right.
You want? I said, "Yeah."
Right.
And we talk. And right there, this is the last time. a conversation that I had with him.
Okay.
He said, T, you have a lot of charisma. Don't stay in Puerto Rico. You could go to the States.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
could move
He
out.
called that.
You know, and I said, I'm like and my English was worse than now, but I said to him, yeah, thank you. And I'm thinking, man, this is a man that could help me because I don't know nobody outside.
Right.
Just in
Sure.
Puerto Rico.
Sure.
So, what? 2 weeks later, this shit happened.
He's gone. Right.
All right, that being
The same way I coming from Ponce too, and going in the same way we talking, I start crying. I mean, I was crying. I took this side, crying. I from the left, I went left, and I crossed 3 lines to the right without looking. I just went out because I can see. I just stopped and cried my eyes off.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's coming in a movie
Okay.
that is made in Puerto Rico about the wrestling in that era. But whoever think that I'm part of covering anything is fuck. Is wrong. Fuck. It's wrong.
There you go.
I'm not happy with what happened.
How could you be?
Did I work with Invader after that? Yeah, I worked with him after that, and we talk and whatever.
Right.
You know, but if was my judgment to prosecute him, hey, I was there. I see. You cannot tell me I don't do this and do that. And I respect the judge or whatever. You know, the not the judge, the law. But the law was wrong right
Yeah.
there.
Oh, yeah.
Shoot the shit with Monty and the Pharaoh. How you holding up out there, my friend? How's everything going in Texas? How you dealing with COVID and everything else that's going on in the world?
Oh, everything is beautiful out here, man.
Life is good.
And the COVID, staying away from the COVID. Went and got my shots, and I'm good to go.
And how you staying away from COVID? Like, do you just like not get around people, or what do you do?
No, I already got my shots already, so I don't fear them too much.
Okay.
All right, well, we got to be careful about talking about COVID on this channel because we were suspended for
Yeah.
Missy Hyatt's views on COVID-19, so that didn't go well.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
I guess you're not allowed to speak about anything in the United States anymore.
It seems like that. What's the Ahmed? What is the Texas mindset with the coronavirus? What's it been like in Texas during the last couple of years since this all started?
Well, it's been everybody's been pretty much staying at home. All the little restaurants and stuff are closed down.
Okay.
But they're all back up and going now. Everything seems almost back to normal, except we're having a big fight with the school board as far as, whether the kids have to wear masks or not.
Okay. Where are they at in Texas at this point? Are they making them wear masks, or is it still up in the air?
They were until the school board took them to court.
Okay.
And now our great leader said that they don't have to wear masks. And he don't, and that's sad coming from somebody who had COVID.
Well, I was actually just talking about that with my wife, right? It's like you know, even though people are vaccinated, they still should social distance to a certain level and wear masks
Yes.
when out in public, right? Because
Sure.
again, we all want to protect each other.
agree.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you do. Not that I would argue with you, man. You're
better
scaring
not.
me just looking at you on video right
Wait a
now.
minute, can I see it? Oh my God! Yeah, he didn't shrink at all. Well, are you still working out all the time? I mean, how long is your workout every day?
No, man.
All right, then explain. How come you're still so big? Well, how's that work?
Not just genetics.
Okay. You're not throwing around cars in your spare time or anything like that.
No,
So you,
I
so,
cut that out, man, about 6 years ago.
so you mentioned genetics, right? Can you tell me about mom and dad?
First African American singles champion in the WWF when you won the WWF Intercontinental title. Any how do you feel about that? That's pretty major, my friend.
Yeah, that was super good, man. That's why, when I gave my speech, I wanted to make sure everybody understood I wasn't doing it just for, one race. I was doing it for all the people who, like your fans, the people who are into the sport and people who feel like they have something to prove.
Because that was a major deal, especially up here. I don't know how much you know about the history in the WWE, but like when Tony Atlas and Rocky Johnson beat the Wild Samoans, that was such a huge moment. And I would put your moment as winning the Intercontinental title right on that level.
Yep.
When you look back at your career, do you still like just realize how important that moment was?
Yeah, that's a moment, man. You can't help but realize how important it was because it helped open the doors for people like even The Rock, I believe. Having the first African American champion opened the door for a lot of people.
What was it like when you first met Vince McMahon? Because your physique is, I would tend to think, is Vince McMahon's wet dream. I mean, what did Vince say to you? Like, oh my, the things we're going to do with you? What was it like when you first met Vince?
You know what? It's funny you said that. He said those exact words.
Did he really say?
Wow.
Yes, he did. He said those exact words.
Wow.
What, like, you're my wet dream, Johnson?
No, he didn't say that part now.
You're hired.
No, he didn't say that part now. He let that part go.
Yeah, okay. But he was obviously clearly very impressed with you. So the first meeting went well when you met Vince.
Yeah, went very well.
Hell
I
it
was very
well.
impressed with him.
Were
I was
you-
impressed with him and his organization. So, yeah, it went well.
Were you nervous around him? Was he like this godly figure almost? What was your feeling when you first met him?
Yeah, I was nervous. When I first met him, he was very firm man, very firm on his decisions, and he impressed me.
How about the politics? How quickly did you realize, there's some politics?
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, how quick was that before you realized that? With like a day in that locker room?
Oh.
Stepping
A day you knew where, people stand, because you walk back there and you see these cliques all together.
click. There you go.
Yeah, you see, you got the click over here with Yoko, you got a click over here with Sean, you got a click over here with Joe Blow.
Did anybody try to make you feel comfortable? Anybody come to you and say, welcome, Anybody?
The only person that came up to me, man, made me feel comfortable with Razor Ramon.
Razor
Really?
Ramon.
That's a surprise.
He's part of the
Razor
clique. Are you
Ramon.
sure he wasn't playing you? I mean,
I hope
hey, you got some big biceps there, buddy. I don't know if I would have bought into a single thing. I guess he was genuine though. You're saying he was friendly to you guys. Did you guys stay friends over the years? Or?
I'd like to think we did.
Okay.
When he left for WCW, he probably forgot about us all, but
You think? He might have.
yeah,
He might have.
I think that. But he was came up to me and he was telling me what looked good that I was doing and what wasn't looking good that I was doing, and I hope he wasn't playing me.
Right.
Like you said, he could have been playing me.
Right. Right. How easy was it for you to adapt to becoming? Forget about it with the internet.
So
but,
you,
yeah.
when they speak about you, obviously they thought you were green, and in some cases, some wrestlers thought you were dangerous. We're from Long Island, New York, so I was at the Coliseum when D'Lo Brown broke Droz's neck. I was there live,
Oh Lord.
and then we actually know, when Owen Hart actually hurt Stone Cold Steve Austin. I mean, these are two examples of, look, I'm sure accidents happen, but I guess the point I'm trying to make to you is, one, do you feel that just people were jealous because of your meteoric rise in the WWE, so they were trying to hold you down by saying those things about you? Because, to this day, you don't hear about D'Lo being dangerous. And I was there that night, and that was, again,
Good point.
Droz blames himself,
Right.
but I saw that D'Lo was just, in my opinion, was not paying attention.
That was a reckless moment.
And it
Right,
was
right.
reckless. Thank you for the word.
Yeah.
So I guess my point is, how do you feel about my statements? And then can you share with me your thoughts on D'Lo Brown? Because I know you did have a couple of issues with him.
Well, I agree with your statements 100%. Because there was a match one time when we were wrestling, and he did the leap over, that leapfrog thing he does, and I wasn't even in place yet, and he went on and did it anyway. So that jerk ass boy, he's not a friend of mine.
Can you clear the air for those listening out there? Do you feel that your reputation is fair when it comes to these things that some people have written about you on the internet? What is your opinion on people who would say that you worked stiffly?
I would say I probably did. I would even say that honestly, I was a little green, when I came in, but the boss is the boss. He put you in there and say, do this, you do that. You know what I'm saying? Or you don't have a job the next morning.
We did mention Owen Hart. You had left the WWE. I believe you were in WCW. What were your thoughts on the Over the Edge pay-per-view the night that we lost Owen Hart and he passed away from the fall?
Oh man, that hurt me bad. I didn't, expect that. I mean, not from one of the top ring technicians, and then come find out it wasn't that. It was he fell from the roof.
Were you surprised that the show went on?
Yes, extremely.
If you had been backstage that night, would you have actually said, what are you guys, crazy to go on with the show? How do you think you would have? I know it's a hard question to ask, but if you had been there, would you have said something like, what are you guys, nuts, continuing the show?
I think I would have said something, but I can't lie to you. If that's what the boss wanted, was to continue the show,
Right.
then that's what you have to do.
Right.
I can't lie to you and say, I'm all, no, I would have stood there and fought back.
I got you. I got you.
Were you close with Owen in your time in the WWE?
Oh man, I was his king of ha-has.
Really?
Yeah, he used to play ha-has on me all the time, man. He used to get me good, man.
Can you share one of those stories?
Yeah, what'd he do to you? If you could share.
Well, one time we were going, it was WrestleMania 13, I believe. Man, that's how old I am. Jesus
Would
Christ.
you stop? Oh my God. Okay.
And,
All right. So it was a little while ago. I'm with you. Go on. Oy.
and we were getting ready, going there, everybody's getting ready to do what they have to do. And my phone rings, and it's a Jay Leno show. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. And so he tells me, hey, this is Jay Leno show. We want to see you to the studio tomorrow at such time, such. I'm like happy, man. I'm just excited. And then come to find out, I get all dressed up, man, and I went and brought a new suit, some new jewelry and everything. Then come to find out, I walk outside, and Owen and Davey Boy's outside. And I'm like, why are they out here? What are they waiting for? And I'm sitting there like an idiot dressed up with no place to go. And then Brett walks out and starts laughing and tells me, man, Owen and played his game, ha-ha on you. Owen did that, man. That wasn't no Jay Leno show. And they laughing, man. I mean, they're in the bushes. They done laugh so hard.
Did they take you out to dinner at least? You're all dressed up.
No, they didn't do anything but run.
Run! Oh, my God.
They got out there.
Yeah, you show them working stiff, right? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to be right back after this commercial break with. Look, you were a great face, but I could have really felt like you were like a super heel too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Is that your demeanor in real life, or is that just an act?
That was just not.
Wow.
Did you prefer
Yeah, I know.
Would you have preferred to be a face or a good guy if you were the guy writing the script? A good guy, or bad
know,
guy?
I would have liked to try the heel spot for a little bit,
Yeah.
but they never let me.
Who would you pick as your manager?
Oh man, who would I pick as my manager?
Come
I
on.
bet you it wouldn't be Jim Cornette.
No, no, for sure. That jerk off. No, for
Hey, don't
sure,
worry,
it
man.
wouldn't have been him.
He's not a fan of ours.
Yeah, he
either,
don't like
so
us
it's
at
okay.
all, so you can say whatever you
We're
want
all the
about
same
him.
boat.
No,
together.
you don't like me.
There you go.
No, he's not a big fan of
There you
ours.
go.
He don't like me, and I never done anything bad to him, man. I mean, I respected him when he was there, and
Right.
he still talks shit about me. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, because
each his own.
he's that wrestling purist, right? It's like, he probably thought you had to do your dues or something like
Wrestling purist.
whatever.
He used a tennis racket to hit people. He's
Yeah,
a wrestling
right.
purist. Holy armbar.
So Farrell
Oh,
brought up
my God.
Farrell brought up Shawn Michaels, right? So Shawn had a lot of control back then. Was he one of the guys trying to hold you down? And what was it like dealing with the clique during that time?
Oy.
yeah, trust me, if Sean see anybody finna go up or up the ladder, he was going to hold him back. So
Did
he had his hand on me for a while, trying to hold me down.
Now, did you understand that? Or, honestly, why didn't you just go kick his ass?
No, that's a good question. I mean, in the beginning, I didn't understand it, but later on, I got to see what the clique was all about. And it was all about President Sean running the nation.
President Sean running the nation. Interesting. Interesting. Did you ever feel that? How do I put this? This is not an easy thing to ask, but I'll give it a shot. Did you ever feel that those guys would ever get the hell out of your way at any point, or did you just feel frustrated? What do you do with something like that? I mean, you know that damn well that they've got Vince's ear. Did you ever try going to Vince? Did you ever try to do anything about it?
No, I just let it play out. Because I feel as though, if you got too far with it, then I was going to have to do what I have to do.
I mean, we're getting
But
a lot.
he didn't.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
But he didn't go too far with me with it.
Okay.
We're getting a lot of Gold Dust questions. So, what was your relationship with Dustin, and did you want to slap the shit out of him when he kissed you on the mouth?
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah, first of all, I didn't even realize he was going to even do that. He kind of we rehearsed it, and he put his hand over my mouth and he kissed his hand. But when we went live, he thought it would be funny not to put his hand there, and he did it for real. And unfortunately, some jobber at the door had to pay for it because he got out of there. He grabbed his bag and went straight out the back door.
Wow.
But no, Dustin's. I mean, he's cool with me, man. I got no problem with Dustin.
So let's go back to President Sean. How did you feel about some of the other things he was doing, like having sex with Sonny while Chris Candido was in the wrestling ring and things like that? Did you know that stuff was going on?
Oh yeah, it was obvious. She would disrespect Chris so bad right in front of his face, man.
Did you feel like saying to Chris, what are you doing? Don't you see this happening?
No, because we weren't that close. I mean, not close to the point where I would speak on his relationship. So,
How come?
because there was another clique.
Another click.
It was a clique, and it was a clique built more on racism than it was anything else.
Really? Wow. Wow.
But you hear stories about Ron Simmons teaching everybody and dropping knowledge on them and helping them with their careers. Here you are, you're this young guy, totally hot. He's got the world at his feet, just needs to be guided a little bit and taught.
Sure.
Where was Ron Simmons for Ahmed Johnson?
He wasn't there. He wasn't there at all.
Thoughts on Mr. USA Tony Atlas?
I never really met Tony Atlas.
Well, we got to fix that, Mike.
Yeah, that's for sure.
We're going to have to fix that one for you.
I just want to go back to Ron Simmons
Sure,
again.
sure.
Why do you think he wasn't there for Ahmad Johnson? He seemed to be there for everybody else.
Out of jealousy, because you remember he was the first black champion in WCW, wasn't he? Or am I speaking wrong?
You are
Nope,
correct.
you're correct.
You're correct.
And then I became the first black champion in WWF, and it was jealousy pure. He even said on one of his interviews that he was jealous.
Interesting.
And did you feel that he was jealous at the time, or you just didn't care what anyone thought?
I really didn't care what anyone thought. I mean, as long as you kept to yourself, I didn't care.
Boy, that had to be an interesting balance for you. You clearly had the support of the owner, yet you were dealing with the bullshit from all the employees. That had to be different.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah, it was.
Strange, man.
Because they didn't want a young, dude coming in there taking spots and this, that, and the other. And that's what happened. I came in, and they saying I came in, too early, and which I wouldn't doubt it, but I came in there willing to learn.
Were there ever aspirations or any revelations from Vince that he might have had you becoming a world champion in mind? Was that ever thrown your way in the back or discussed with you about the possibility of you becoming WWF champion?
That was the rumor.
Built like a brick. I can't believe. He came in here, guys, and I was like, this guy's in Tony Atlas shape. Holy shit! I never seen something like this. This guy's in great shape. How are you keeping yourself in such great shape?
He works out 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes, that's it.
How is this possible?
You can save a bunch of money by switching to Geico in 15 minutes. You can work out in 15 minutes.
Wow.
So how do you pull this off then? Explain. What happens in this 15 minutes? Like, Pornhub, like on super fast mode? I mean, what do you do in 15 minutes?
Well, I do like one day I'll do chest, one day I'll do arms, one day I do back, one day I'll do legs.
Wow.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
And the diet?
Well, I don't eat red meat. It slows down my cat-like reflexes.
Okay.
I got cat-like reflexes.
Cat-like.
Cat-like reflexes.
At our age, we're like, not cat though, right? We're more like
Caterpillar?
the caterpillar. Yeah, that might be right.
That was
That's why it's the start of the show.
That was good. Oh man,
Boy.
caterpillar. Yeah, and
All right, no red meat, huh?
no,
okay.
haven't had any red meat since I guess 1989.
What?
Yeah,
Not even one thick, juicy fillet?
nope.
Smart
Wow,
man.
how do you do that?
What are you getting for protein?
Well, I have a protein drinks that I drink. You know,
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you what. Living testament right there. I'm getting off red meat.
Wow.
That's for sure.
I'm going to White Castle.
All right, so
What?
let's weigh in, my friend. Kevin Rittenhouse, what do you think? What are your thoughts on this whole deal going on here?
well, I followed the trial closely,
Good.
and I saw no other verdict but not guilty, because this kid was running for his life. These people were chasing him down, trying to hit him in the head with a skateboard. One guy, here's the kipper here. This should have just shut the trial down. The prosecution star witness was one of the guys that he shot that lived, shot him in the arm. Well, he gets on the witness stand and he testifies that he pulled the gun on Rittenhouse before he shot him. He said, when I pulled my gun out and pointed at him, that's when he shot me. That's self-defense. So why go through this whole trial thing? That was case closed right there.
So first, I want to say thank you for your service. Without people like yourself defending this country, we're not the great country we are. So being an ex-military man and seeing situations like this where something like, to me also, I felt it was clear self-defense. Did he have to be there? Probably not. We could talk about all the reasons why maybe he shouldn't have been there, but he was there and all this went down. What are your feelings about what's happening in this country now? It's, you know.
I think this kid got a raw deal. The president of the United States called him a white supremacist. This kid had nothing to do with, they went through his emails, his phone, nothing to do with white supremacy. And then you're going to label this kid. And I found out that when someone throws out the word racism or white supremacy, that means they have no other legitimate argument. They have nothing else to say. That's the end of the story. They lost. They don't have anything else to say. They'll throw out. Now, I saw Black Lives Matter. They standing out there protesting like, look, all of the people that was shot was white. The guy that was doing the shooting, he was white. And y'all calling him racist, white privilege, and all of this stuff. Black Lives Matter, y'all could have set this one out.
Now, did you just say that the president called him a racist?
The president called him a white supremacist. When he was running, this was in, right after it happened, he was running for office, the president was. And he said, you know, that this guy was a white supremacist. How can you say something like that when you have no factual basis for that? And so everybody else started, you know, calling him white supremacist and all of this stuff. And then they never told, most of the news outlet never told anybody that the people that was shot was white. All of them was white. And people all up in arms calling him racist and all of this stuff.
Do you think like professional wrestling and video games and that type of format make a young kid like this think that nothing's real and that he can walk across with a weapon like this and think that it's just like a game? Like, do you think there's some kind of, what would be a good word?
Disconnect.
Disconnect, yeah, thank you.
Well, in some cases, I've seen people with, you know, with some disconnect, but not this kid. Because if you watch the whole trial, they'll show that when he came, first of all, he didn't carry the weapon across state line. The weapon was at his friend's house. He was not old enough to buy a weapon. He had his friend buy it for him. He was 17 years old. He was not allowed to carry a pistol. But at 17 years old, you can have a long rifle. And it was kept at his friend's house. So he lived across the border in Illinois, and he drove over to his friend's house, which is only like 15, 20 miles away, and got his weapon. And he was hired to provide security at the car lot. It's called Car Source. I think that's what it was. They had a couple of car lots there in that town. And the kid was there to provide security. But before all of this, the day before the kid came there to Kenosha, he was helping clean the graffiti off the walls. And there's pictures of him cleaning graffiti off the wall. Now, he was trained and he was working as a part-time fireman, medic type thing. So he was getting training for that. So the whole time he had his AR-15 on, he had a medical bag. And he's walking down the street. There's video of him walking down the street asking anybody if they need any medical attention.
Wow.
During the riot, do you need any medical attention? And he had his weapon right here. And he actually helped a couple of people that had some minor injuries. And he's walking down. People were setting fires. And he would get a fire extinguisher and put it out. And the people got mad because he was putting out the fires. And then they started in on him, start chasing him down the road, hitting him in the head, swinging him with a skateboard, trying to kick him in the face, and all kinds of stuff. And the kid was merely defending himself.
So, I'll throw this out. You've got children. You're a great grandfather. You said, congratulations. Your son gets killed by this young man. Your son's at the protest and attacks the young man, or gets in his zone or whatever, and this young man kills him. Do you still feel the same way?
Yes. But because the kid has the right to defend himself. We have a right to do that. And if my son is attacking somebody that has a... I hope my son is not that stupid to go attack somebody that has a weapon and you don't have a weapon. Or if my son have a weapon and this guy has a weapon, as the cowboys say, who shoot the fastest live the longest. Cut and dry to me.
Your thoughts on Biden's comments about this kid being a white supremacist? How do you feel as someone who's served as an Army Ranger for this country? How do you feel about a politician who uses words such as that stokes racial tensions, obviously, and he gets his political gain at the same time? How does that make you feel? Because to me, it doesn't get much more evil than that.
I don't know where to start on that. And I was shocked that someone that's running for the office of the president would make a statement without having any factual basis. And that tells you all you need to know about, that person.
I tell you, this is good words, sir. I mean, it's straight